Settings. Y'all, I'm having some technical difficulties. I'm going to get off just for a minute. I'll be back in just a second. Sorry. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Hi guys, I'm Stephanie Wade. I'm Habasia, helping your brothers and sisters in Africa and also the Creole Grill test. I'm sorry I had some technical difficulty. I'm glad to see all you guys here. Let me know if y'all can hear me okay. I'm gonna, hey, okay. Let me know if y'all can hear me okay. I'm gonna say hello to everybody that I see. Hello, Healing Hands Magazine. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Dr. Summer Reed, for coming. Welcome. Hello, Queen Summer. Blessings to you too. Thank you for coming. Hey, Miss Mary. Thank you for coming. Hey, Sister Kenyatta. Thank you for coming. Okay, Miss Mary, thank you so much. You hear me loud and clear. Y'all saw it first. I didn't have no camera or nothing. I don't know what happened because it was set up beforehand. But anyway, y'all, it's all good now, so I'm happy. I'm happy. Hey, Mr. Uganda, good seeing you, brother. Been a while. I'm happy to see you. Thank you for coming. Okay, thank you so much, Queen Summer, for letting me know. Okay, good. All right, y'all. I'm here to talk about DNA tests and results and my DNA test. But before I get started, I just want y'all to see what I'm wearing. Y'all know some of y'all want to know. This head wrap is actually sewed like a hat because I was inspired by what the sister and the mom did for me. So I actually hand sewed it. Look at the back. It's a little knot, and you can take the knot loose to adjust it to your head, and then it just slides on, and you tie it, and you're done. You're done. So you only wrap it once, sew it down, and you're finished. So that was a DIY head wrap hat. So anyway, and this is my earrings from Ghana. Nanye me. Oh, it's hard. You know, it's everything is in reverse on online. This camera is in reverse. This is the dress that I had made in the Gambia, and it's just a top and a skirt. Y'all, I'm trying to see how I can show y'all. Here you go. Top and a skirt. That's all. And y'all know I wear long skirts, so that's that. And this necklace is from Ghana, one of my chieftaincy bling bling, and of course my juju from the Gambia. So anyway, how y'all doing today? I hope y'all are doing fabulous wherever y'all are in the world. I'm trying to get this light right though, y'all, on my glasses. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes I think less is best. But hey, Say Leaf, thank you for coming. See, he's watching me from the Gambia. And so is Sister Kenyatta. thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, sister. I tried to do my best for you guys. I'm trying to remember to do these things, y'all. Y'all know I'm rusty at doing this. If you want to be part of our group, here you go. Patreon, whenever you join, for less than a cup of coffee, the lowest tier even, you become part of the Habasia family. And all that stuff we're doing in the food forest, all those projects, you all can be able to say then, I'm part of that, I'm part of that. And when you go to the Gambia, you can hang out with us and plant trees, plant seeds, and all of that kind of good stuff, you know. But anyways, whew, y'all, this fan is from Nigeria, because it's hot in my house, y'all. It's just like Africa in here. It's Texas. That's why I say Africa is a whole lot like Texas. A whole lot like Texas. But anyway, if y'all ever hear any background noises or something, let me know, and then I'll know that I got something that I need to click off that I don't have off. So right now I'm going to cut off my phone, so at least I know that won't be part of the issue. Okay. Let me go back to the chat where I can see if y'all asking any questions here. Okay. All right. Okay, the subject is secrets and DNA tests and all of that. And the DNA tests help debunk family secrets sometimes. And I'm going to tell y'all, to the best of my knowledge, the DNA test that I've done, as well as the one that I think is the best. I've done DNA tests probably since they started doing DNA tests. The first test I can remember taking was this genome test, and it was from National Geographic. And on that genome test, all it used to say is if you was a L1 or L2. And on that, it said I was a L2. So that meant I was part of the second oldest group of human beings on the planet. And they showed that my ancestors started off like almost in the middle of the motherland and then migrated west. So that was the first test, the genogram. And then after that, I did like my family DNA test, because my grandmother always said we wasn't Africans, we was Indian. And that test was supposed to let me know if we had any indigenous in Americas in us. And guys, the test said we didn't have enough for them to even notice it. Yeah, didn't have enough to even notice it. Still said I was an L2 from Africa, not an indigenous person to this country. So that was that. So then I did all of that when they first started. And then I was getting curious when African Ancestry came out. So I took an African Ancestry test, and it said that I came from the Tikar people that's in present day Cameroon, which is connected to Nigeria. So I said, okay, it's getting more specific. And that was a maternal DNA test, meaning on my mother's side, my people were Tikar, at least the oldest one that they knew of that was female. So anyway, y'all, I said, okay, that's good, but that's not getting deep and personal, because I always wanted to know who my father was. And my mother told me a guy that was one of her boyfriends back in the day. But guys, he never acted like any father. I thought the poor man was a deadbeat dad, actually. Okay, you say your maternal DNA is LO. Okay, cool. Let me try to get that off now. Okay. And so anyways, I wanted to know if this poor guy was my father. And I found out that he was in a nursing home. And I really don't believe in nursing homes for my relatives. So if he was my biological father, even though he really did not parent me when I was growing up, I just saw him now and then at his job when I was growing up. And once I went to Louisiana with him to visit his mother and sister and my, I thought cousin then, or cousins. But y'all, let's just get the poor guy off the hook. I did a test called Identigene, and the Identigene will let you know if the person is your parent, you know, the best one that they have out at this time. So I took the test with him, and it said he wasn't even a cousin. He wasn't even a relative at all. So I don't know for what reason my mother said he was my father. I don't know. And I don't know why he agreed with her to say that, but I do thank him for telling me, you know, at least for allowing me to do the DNA test on him. So after I found out the poor guy was not the father, I did an Ancestry DNA test as well as a 23andMe test from a site on YouTube that actually had a link where you could get a free 23andMe test. So I paid for the Ancestry test, but not the 23andMe test. So on Ancestry, it said I'm 32% Cameroon, 30% Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Ghana, 8%, Sweden, Denmark, 7%, Mali, 6%, Benin, Togo, 5%, Senegal, 4%, Wales, 3%, Scotland, 2%. So the 23andMe says 35% Nigeria, 13.1% broadly West African, 12.5% Ghanaian, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, 11.9% Angola and Congolese, 9.8% Senegambia and Guinea, 4.3% British and Irish. Then it says 100% me. So anyway, guys, the reason that I believe these tests is because the genetic relatives I have that also took the test, I grew up with lots of them, and the relationship is the same. My first cousin on my mother's side took the Ancestry test, and she showed up as a first cousin of mine. And we did not take the test together, and she didn't tell me I took the test. And I didn't tell her I took the test. And then my other cousin's daughter took the test, and my cousin is a first cousin, and her daughter showed up as a second cousin of mine. And I'm telling you, the list goes on and on. And the reason why I know the difference between my maternal DNA and my paternal DNA, who I didn't even know, is my uncle, who is my mother's brother, and they have the same parents. He took a DNA test for me, and whoever doesn't match my uncle, they are my paternal relatives. So that was an easy way to straighten it out. And to me, the best test for me is Ancestry DNA and 23andMe, because I've actually found living cousins, or they found me because they wanted to make contact with me more than I wanted to make contact with them, because they posted their profiles with no pictures, and I actually can't interact very well without seeing pictures. So I told them that I wasn't willing to interact with them unless they share a photo of themselves. And so they actually uploaded photos or sent me photos in a private message. So once I got those photos, then we start interacting, started sharing information. And then that's how I end up finding my father, Charles Edward Spencer Jr. So that was important, y'all. It was important to me to know my roots from made in America roots. Like, who gave the sperm? Who gave the egg? So I'm happy. So according to that, because one of my cousins was in Ancestry and one was in 23andMe, and they were both brothers of each other, and they showed the exact same relationship to me in both tests. So they're my second to third cousins. And they said that on 23andMe is so specific. It says that maybe it's Ancestry, probably Ancestry, whichever one, y'all. It says that you share uh, a set of great grandparents. You have a set of great grandparents in common, and so that meant, with all of our figuring out, that our grandparents are siblings, and their parents are our great grandparents that we have in common. And all my dad's stuff, I researched it in the library after I found out who he was, because my cousin helped me to do the research, and it was talking about him. And it says he was a graduate of Central High School in 1948. Since his graduation, Charles Spencer had attended Howard University in Washington, D.C., where he had been a pre-medical student and held a collegiate interscholastic athletic scholarship championship. And then it also said at the beginning of his obituary, young Spencer, who was 22 at the time of his death, was well known in Galveston, having won the state Negro wrestling championship here in 1953. So he won the state Negro wrestling championship the year I was born. He was a graduate of Central High School of 1948. So that was what made me excited about DNA tests, because I thought that I would never know who my father was. I just never thought I'd know y'all. So it's lots of secrets that people have in your family that they keep, but thank the Most High, with DNA tests, we can find out some truths just by what's inside of our bodies. And it's lots of things that you find out with the DNA test. Oh, yeah. Everything is well with me. Thank you. My cousins that I met in 23andMe and in Ancestry, the ones I didn't know is the ones that I was excited about. My paternal cousins, my cousins on my father's side, because I didn't grow up with them. I didn't know them. Mostly all of the ones that's my maternal side cousins, I knew them, and they all matched my uncle on my mother's side. So it turned out very well for me, because I thought at my age I would just never know who my father was, you know. Well, I'm telling you, it's got it. If you want living ancestors, not ancestors, if you want living relatives, that's 23andMe and Ancestry.com. That's where I found my living relatives, and tracing them, their history. That's how I found my father. So it wasn't very hard once I found my paternal relatives. No, I'm not. I'm just celebrating new birth every day that I wake up. Okay. Have any of you guys taken a DNA test before or considering taking DNA tests? What do y'all think about it? Because I heard a lot of people online that have never taken a DNA test just discount them and say, I'm just African. I'm just African. I'm ever African. I'm not going to take the DNA test. I don't know what they're afraid of that they'll find out by taking a DNA test. I don't know. Okay, Melanin Queen. Okay, okay. That's a good one. I agree with you on that. It's pretty accurate. Okay, it's on your to-do list. Okay, that's great. Yes, I do. It's hard to tell y'all on this picture by just y'all showing it to y'all, but that's my dad. And I actually have his nose and lips, and I got his eyes and bushy eyebrows, and I'm chocolate like him. I'm not as chocolate as him, but I look like if my mother and my father merged together to create me. Because I do look like my mother next to her photos, but I never had her nose and I never had her lips. And I will always wonder, who did I look like? You know, I was always thinking I must have been adopted because I always fantasized who my father was because I know that I didn't look like the guy that she said was my daddy. I was like, I don't think so. I didn't tell her that, but that's what I thought. I knew what he did and I know how he behaved, and I didn't see any resemblance to him, uh, the way he behaved or how he looked compared to me. Just wasn't a match. Oh, okay, good, Zena. I remember one of the DNA tests I found out before my cousin told me that he had a secret daughter, that she was a grown woman with a teenage son, and she took an ancestry test, and she showed up as my second cousin. I never met her before. I didn't know her. And then later on, he posted that she was his daughter and that she had tracked him down, and her mother kept her a secret. But her mother knew because she actually used my cousin's last name as her daughter's last name. So she was secret, whatever. But she did not interact with my cousin and let him know that her daughter was there, and didn't introduce her daughter to him or tell her about him. I don't know. People are interesting, y'all. Oh, okay. Your dad looks like Michael Jordan. Okay. That's nice. Y'all, this picture came out of a Central High School yearbook, and the yearbook was actually destroyed, but somehow somebody had taken photos of the yearbook before it got destroyed. So luckily for me, my cousin helped me to get one of the board members of Old Central to actually share that photo with me of my dad. That's the only one I have, y'all. One of my cousins promised me she'll look in storage to find photos that was left to her, but so far, no other pictures of my dad. Oh, okay, well, that's good. Your parents were your parents. I'm glad. It's amazing how we look different sometimes. But I'm telling you, this time for me, it actually proved that the guy wasn't. And I'm not sad, y'all. That guy would have been a deadbeat dad if he was my dad. But like I said, since he took that test to prove that he wasn't my father, he released me to find my biological father and his family. So I appreciate him a lot. Forget, I'll never forget what he did for me, that he gave me an okay to find my other part of my family. So I appreciate him doing that. And I actually do look a lot like my mother's people, but I was in denial, y'all. I was in denial because I don't act like anybody in my family. To this day, I don't act like anybody in my family. My cousin that's on my father's side, he's done some similar stuff to me, but then a lot different. Nobody is in love with the motherland that I know of. That's my cousins and above. Now going down with my grandchildren, Faja and Shaheem, they seem interested in going back to the motherland as well as meet their relatives over there. But as for my cousins and stuff, one of them went back with me to Ghana and Nigeria, but otherwise nobody else has expressed an interest. DNA test can be drama. Yeah, it was drama, but it was wonderful drama for me. I'm glad. Like I said, I actually did not care for my relatives on my the side of the guy that I thought was my father. They were not very nice people at all. They was not nice at all. I didn't really feel like I had anything in me from them. And so it was wonderful finding out I wasn't related to them at all. Now, I would like to know why my mother didn't just tell me the truth, because otherwise she seemed like such a nice little woman. But she lied till she died, y'all, because I was a grown woman when she died, so she could have told me the truth. So I don't know why she didn't. She took it to her grave. But I am glad I know my relatives on my father's side, at least some of them. Even my cousin, one of my guy cousins came to visit me, and we took pictures together, and people think that he's my brother because we look that much alike. We do. He looks like me if I was a man and bald-headed. Hit that like button, y'all. Thumbs up, thumbs up. When y'all coming in. And if y'all come in and didn't hit the like button, hit the like button so more people will get to see this live. So what else y'all got to say? Mothers like to protect their children. Sometimes she might have thought she was saving you some hurt. You know, Mr. Uganda, that's cool and all, but as a grown woman, she wasn't saving me from nothing, you know? And I wish she would have just told me the truth, you know, because I'm not a fragile person. She already knew that the guy that she said his family was not nice people. She kept letting me go around them and get myself emotionally hurt because they were not nice people. You know, she'll say, oh, I told you not to go around those people. But she could have said they not really your people. And I wouldn't even going around them at all. But I'm thinking that it was something that I did that'll make them upset or make them not be nice people. You know, she didn't protect me from anything because those folks wasn't nice. If you introduce your child to a set of nice people and think that their dad's people are evil or something, their biological father is evil or something, and their family is evil, that's one thing. But to introduce your child to somebody whose family is ghettoites and not nice at all, I don't understand that, y'all. Like I say, I was a grown woman, probably in my 60s, when I found out the truth of who my biological father was. And it was my uh, the guy that thought, well, he said he didn't really feel like I was his daughter. That's how come he treated me like that. So it wasn't fair to him or to me for her to stick to that story. And it is amazing how a soul will find their way home. All I know is that it just never suited me, his family, nor him. And my fantasy of my daddy being somebody special was true. Which ancestral country do you have the most affinity with? Y'all should know. The Gambia. The Gambia. It's the Gambia. Because my grandmother, Cora Sam, helped raise me. And I was trying to research her name. And when I end up in the Gambia, because they also speak English, because I wanted to be able to ask people questions and do research by myself without getting interpreters for every little thing. And once I got there and found out that it was also a family name, and then to have the family actually adopt me, because they kept saying, oh, you just like Alex Haley. Oh, you just like Alex Haley. And they was just so nice. Gambia was just different, y'all. It was different. It's like I came back home with money the first time I went to the Gambia. And I'm telling y'all, I bought a Cora while I was there, and it had my grandmother's name on it. I listened to Cora music, a private private session of Cora playing. It was just wonderful. And the people were so nice. And they remind me of people in Galveston. So the Gambia is the one that I'm most connected to. You know me, sister. You know me. You know me. I just feel at peace when I'm in the Gambia. I feel at peace, and I feel like I have my own relatives there. My name given to me by my elders in the Gambia is Stephanie Foley Cora, because that's the oldest ancestor in that particular family, because I wanted a name that meant granddaughter of Cora, because the Cora family is Cora Kunda. Cora Kunda. All Coras are related. And so I know that I'm granddaughter of Cora Sam, as well as Stephanie Foley Cora, granddaughter of the Cora family in the Gambia. Hello, Lee Slayton. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you being here. Will I be connected more with the paternal side? Let me see. Yes, Mr. Uganda, I will. In fact, I always do. It's like my cousin came down here and he said that, oh, let me fix this right. My cousin said that he's going to buy a condo here on the beach because he'll be retiring soon. And I do talk to them on the phone, and his mama watches me every day with his sister. So yeah, I'll be connecting to my paternal side all the time, as much as I can. I love them. I got a book made. Oh, one of those little books that you order in the mail. They're just little small books, the picture books of me and my cousin. Yeah, they'll always be a part of me. So yeah, I love my cousin. I love all my cousins, but it's just wonderful to know that I have some that look like could be my brother. That's just amazing to me, with nose, cheekbones, and all. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, Dr. Summer, Gambia, Gambia, Gambia. You knowing me. Is the name Mandinka? I really don't know. If Sayleaf is still here, please say if it is Mandinka. I'm thinking that it is, but I don't know. So Sayleaf, if you're still in the chat, is the Stephanie Foley Cora, is that Mandinka? Okay. And I'll put up the other banner for a little while for the people who want to donate through PayPal. Here you go. Yeah, I have not really learned the difference between the names and all. So I don't know, y'all. I did have a whole lot of other stuff printed out before, because this is not the first time I did things on DNA. So we'll just leave it. Let's see. Hopefully, Sayleaf or Abib, if Abib comes on, will say if the name is Mandinka or not. If not, I will ask them personally and get a reply, and then I'll post it as a post. Oh, thank you so much. When I use the music, I get it mostly from iMovie. And what's so weird, it's supposed to be non-copyrighted music on iMovie. And sometimes the music I use doesn't have a copyright ping. And then sometimes you use it and you get a copyright ping, But since I'm not monetized, it doesn't really matter. They just send me a note and say it doesn't affect the video at all. But I'm telling you, I try my best. I'm just learning. One day I'll be in a place where I can actually hire somebody to edit my videos that's a new graduate of a program in the Gambia that can do it for me without costing me an arm and a leg. And even if I'm not monetized, it'll be good for the community to encourage somebody to do the video editing so they can use that as part of their resume too, if they did that. But for right now, best I can do. So thank you. Why, I'm glad. I try my best just to share with y'all. And I'm glad they're relaxing. I try to make them that when I'm at home and I play them, that I can remember that I was there too, and that have it relax me too. It's like, what would I want to see when I get back home? Because the memory that you have, you're making that memory while you're shooting the video. Because when I'm doing a video, I'm kind of in the moment and I don't actually even see everything that's happening in the video. But then once I show it at home on my TV, sometimes I see different things in it, Oh, I'm glad you started noticing the sound of the birds. That's my favorite thing, listening to the birds. Whether I'm in the Gambia or in the United States, hearing the birds is amazing to me. Thank you. I'm trying. So I appreciate that you think I'm doing a good job. So I appreciate that. Gonja. Oh, well, they have to be close to where I am when I'm in the Gambia. Whether it's a Jelba jelly or regular old part of wherever I'm at. But I will check them out, but it have to be somebody I can afford because I'm not monetized at all. So I can't overdo it. It just have to be somebody that's just finishing school that needs something to say that they can edit on their resume. Because I'm nowhere near monetization at all. Not even building up my Patreon like I should be. You know. Like I say, everything happens in perfect time, and so I'm not complaining. I'm just saying everything I do right now is pretty much just from my own, as they say, pocketbook. So anyway, y'all, I'm doing my best as a one woman show for these videos for right now. I'm trying to save money to go back to the Gambia in August so I can plant seeds in a food forest and trees in a food forest and get back so I can enjoy myself. So do y'all have any family secrets that y'all want to share? Generalized information now. It don't have to be nothing specific. Or anything y'all found out taking y'all DNA test that y'all happy y'all found out about. Because with me, my cousin, one of my messy cousins, was saying that my mother was not my grandfather's daughter. And I was really mad at her. It was at one of our family reunions in Louisiana. And she was trying to say that her sister and my mama had the same daddy. And I love my grandfather so much, y'all. I couldn't imagine that he was not my grandfather. And he would have still stayed my grandfather mentally. But I wanted him to be my biological grandfather as well. So anyway, after I did the Ancestry Dna Test, it has a circle of relatives. And in my circle of relatives, 7 or 8 times, they're all my grandfather's people. So they were showing up like, roll call, roll call. All my grandfather's relatives. His mother showed up. His father showed up. And when the next time I went to the family reunion, I told that cousin, I took that DNA test and that, yeah, my grandfather was my grandfather. And that shut her up big time from gossiping in the family. Non-truths. Yeah, y'all, she was spreading false rumors in her own family. And somebody that I actually loved a lot. But the DNA solved that problem. So I was so happy that it put an end to that drama in my family. That's interesting. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I don't know why people just never really tell us why. Because no matter what it is, it can't hurt us. We're grown. All we can do is process the information because so much has happened to us in general that a little bit more is just take just a little process. And it's just part of our story that's already happened, part of our history. Thank you again for sharing. That's very interesting. Thank you for sharing, B. Slayton. You found cousins you didn't know about, and your mother knew their grandmother when she was a child. Yeah, it's just amazing of how people don't share information about yourself with you. Like I said, when you're a child, that's one thing. But then when you become an adult, they should trust you that you grown, that you can handle a situation, that you don't need anybody to baby you at 30, 40, 50 years old. You are just not a baby anymore. But it's one of those cultural things, even in Texas. If somebody's in their 80s, they may insult you and tell you that you're a baby as long as you're not 80 something years old. So they don't respect you as an adult, They discount what you have to say because you're not 80 something. Y'all, I just have to take a deep breath sometimes and exhale because I understand that everybody deserves respect and you grown. I take 21 all up is grown, And before then, I still appreciate you as a human being, what you have to say, and try not to discount what you're saying. Good, exactly. Yeah, I agree. 75 to 85% African. Yep, that is true. I agree with that. So that's the root of our tree, between 75 to 85% African. The root of the tree. I agree. That's what is shown so far in my DNA. Now it changes once you get married to somebody from the motherland and have children with them. Your children's DNA will be a lot higher. Let's see. Oh, okay. You was 97% African. Huh. Are you Gullah Geechee by any chance, Miss Mary? Because 97% is a pretty high amount. My son, that his father is a Nigerian, his DNA is like 97% African. And my cousin on my father's side, he's about 95%, 94 to 95% African. So the only people I know that have that high amounts are people that have parents that's straight from the continent or Gullah Geechee. So thank you for sharing with us. Okay, found a DNA match and explained how we're related. She broke down crying when she found out that the man she thought was her father was really her father. When she found out that the man she thought was her father was really her father. Huh, that's interesting. Maybe she was just crying because she was happy that he was her father. Like I was happy my grandfather was my grandfather, maybe. I know I couldn't wait to tell my cousin my grandfather was my grandfather. Okay, you found two relatives on Ancestry that don't know each other. Both are adopted, and one of my uncles is involved, and no one will fess up. Well, y'all know people don't like to fess up. And the thing about it is, with adults, all they want to do is fill in the blanks. They're not trying to send anybody to jail. They're not trying to send anybody to hell. So I don't know what's the fear of just telling the truth. I feel like the truth will set you free. So I don't know. I'm just happy that they do have DNA tests that actually did help me find my paternal side. Okay. Let me see what this one says. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So you're not. That's interesting. That is interesting. Huh. You're one of the first people I know that's not Gullah or Geechee with that percentage of Africa. That's amazing. Really, it is amazing. Wow. Congratulations, because that DNA is like straight out of Africa. Like if you have a parent that's an African or somebody that's never been associated too much doing the slavery time with anybody. That's amazing. Okay. Hilton Head. Yeah, that's where all the Gullah Geechee people are from up in that areas. It's like from Virginia all the way down the south in the Florida area. So, because they said we all started off in Virginia. So, from all up in that area down to Florida. Wow, Tim, that's amazing. 96% African. Y'all definitely, if y'all not know Gullah Geechees, y'all are in that group because most people uh, had some mixing within that 400 years, not to have that strong of a DNA. That 96% DNA presence is just like if your father or mother was straight from the motherland. So that's amazing after 400 years that you are 96%. That is amazing. Like I said, that one is like my son's, that's 97%. Wow. Wonderful. Oh, okay. Okay. Huh. That's crazy. I don't know what was his problem. Maybe he needed a DNA test back in the day because maybe some reason why he thought she might not be his daughter. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Hmm. Wow. Amazing. Thank you for sharing. Oh, okay. Okay. Hilton Head, our Gullah people. Okay. Because I know what Queen Quet was talking about. And she was saying that all the way up from in the Virginia areas, all the way down to Florida, are the Gullah Geechee people. So that is the only people I know, other than Miss Mary's people, that have that much African in them because they was isolated in the low countries away from the other people. So they didn't really get forcibly mixed. Yeah, it's amazing. When you was in South Carolina, some people mentioned that many of the nice places like Hilton Head and Johnson Island used to be swampland. The others didn't want the previous enslaved in Charleston. Huh, that is weird. That's sad. But anyway, however it was, Africa remained very strong there. So that's good. Sometimes all things work for the good. Oh, everything works for the good. And I'm so enjoying y'all sharing with me. Okay, I'm going to share this PayPal for a while. And I hope I didn't miss nothing, y'all. Anyways, oh, here it is. I think I did PayPal. All right, there's Cash App for the people that weren't Cash App. But anyways, I'm learning a lot today. Thank y'all all for sharing. This just makes everything easier when you're talking about things and people sharing with y'all. Because I'm telling y'all, just finding out that my grandfather, who I grew up with, was my grandfather, was amazing to me. And it was something, like I said, I could tell my cousin off at the next family reunion. She didn't know what to say, y'all. She didn't know what to say when I told her that I matched like 7 levels of relatives on my grandfather's side. I mean, they just love doing DNA tests. And I was able to take a picture of his mother and add to the family tree because he actually had a picture of his mother and father that was drawn, looked like in watercolor. And I took a picture of them when they was hanging in his house. And so they didn't have that. They had her name, but they didn't have her picture. So I was able to add the picture to the family tree of all those layers of relatives. So I felt so good that I was able to contribute a face to that name. Oh, all right. Hey, 91% is great. All right, then. Hey, power to the people. That is fabulous. I am so glad we have means to know where we came from, and sometimes can trace all the way down to a family. Because I'm telling y'all, nobody ever mentioned that Cora was a family name. I just knew it was an instrument. If I wouldn't have gone to the Gambia, I would have never known it was a family surname. You know, never would have known. And my grandmother, bless her soul, had no idea that her name could be traced back to Africa. Because all she knew, we ain't African, we Indians. What kind of Indians, mother? I don't know, just Indian. No, we're less than 2% indigenous to this country. Less than 2%. Okay, it says there's an African cemetery near Charleston. There are people from the Caribbean and Haiti. Cuba buried there. A marker where slaves were sold. That's the area where ships docked. Okay, how interesting. I found out as an adult that where we have the Neo Culture Center and the 19th June building in Galveston, they used to sell enslaved people across from the building where we're in. I didn't know that. Growing up in Galveston, I didn't know that Galveston had people being sold on the Strand. So I guess our history is all over the United States. Just a matter of doing just a little research and we find out how far back we've gone. And I know some of our relatives stopped off in Haiti along the way also, because one of my cousins did lots of genetic research and he shared it with us. So I think genealogy is so interesting, and I think DNA added to the genealogy research is interesting. I even think going to library and using all of that, whatever that film is in the library, I got to use it. It was amazing, y'all. It was amazing. I love doing genealogy research because I researched it before COVID. So it was amazing and I loved it. I never thought I'd be able to say something like that. Okay, you find your family members in village in Nigeria on 23andMe. Yeah, I love 23andMe. I do. Like I say, 23andMe and Ancestry.com, both of those have helped me find living relatives to connect to. Because I also did connect with a relative in Nigeria. Actually, her village is pretty close to my ex-husband's village in Nigeria. So when I went to Nigeria and I felt like something inside of me was saying, oh, we made it. I was right. I felt it. We did make it because I was very, very close to where her village is. So we was like brother and sister villages. And so I married somebody that was pretty close to my family's village in Nigeria. And I didn't even know anything about Nigeria before I married my ex. So some Haitians were here because about 750 Haitian freemen fought alongside colonial troops against the British in the seas of Savannah on October 9th, 1779. Okay, good to know. That is very good to know. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing. That helps a lot. The more we share, the more we learn, and I appreciate all of that. I do. That's something I didn't know. And I learned so much by listening to people. Like I said, I didn't know anything about people being sold in Galveston until I was an adult and people started saying that it was. And then I did some research online, and lots of things happened in Galveston that I was never aware of. They had enslaved people working on a waterfront alongside freedmen. So it's just amazing what history you learn when you search. Let's see if it's more. Okay. Yep, probably why I look like his sister. Yep, yep. But my cousin is in California. My cousin is in California. Yeah, my cousin is in California, and cousins pretty much look alike. Because even my cousins on my mom's side, some of them and I look alike, and some of them, my my sons look like them. So I can see the similarities in our family. So cousins do look alike. It's just that you be trying to deny sometimes. Yeah. Just because they don't act like you. Sometimes you're just you, and you took after somebody that you haven't met yet or that you'll never meet. But my cousin, that's on my father's side, looked like me. But he's not from Galveston. He's from California. Yeah, Galveston does have tons of rich history. Really does. I'm learning that now. I didn't know it growing up. But yeah, y'all, my cousin actually caught a plane here from Chicago. He lives in Chicago now. And so he actually flew here from Chicago, and I picked him up at the airport. He stayed at a hotel for about a week or so, and we did lots of things together, including research our family history. Hey, Sister Janice. Glad you could make it, sis. You'll be able to catch up when you replay this video once it's finished. Let me see. Oh, my husband. Oh, yeah, my husband's sister. Yeah. Oh, there. You're right. You're right. They did say that I look like my husband's sister. That's right. And he was so mad, y'all. He said, I don't care what she looked like. She is not my sister. She is my wife. But in Nigeria, they don't marry people in the same village. They marry people outside of their village. But after so many uh, hundreds and thousands of years, eventually you'll have some relatives that's in different villages that you look alike. Yeah. So I agree. I do agree. But she's not from his village. But I'm telling you, uh, his cousin looks just like my mama when my mama was young. I mean, like a warrior woman. She looked so much like my mom, y'all. So if your cousins is considered your sisters, yeah, I definitely say that our family does look a lot alike. So yeah. But I don't know what my cousin looks like from that other village because she never shared her picture with me. And when I tried to recontact her, she wasn't able to contact me. So I hope nothing happened with her, y'all, because you just never know. Sometimes it's just a matter of getting married and your husband don't want you to contact people on the phone and you don't have your own phone or something happened. So all I can do is hope and pray that she's okay. Okay, your mom found a brother she didn't know about and found out the truth about who was her dad. He's coming to meet her next month finally. Oh, happy day, as they say. Oh, happy day. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. I wish I had a brother or a sister. I'm glad I have my cousin now. I am. But I'm telling you, I would not mind if my daddy had another person out there who looked like me and they would contact me. I would be happy for them to be my sibling. I would. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lady Vagabond, for coming in. I appreciate you coming in. Welcome to the program. And you'll be able to catch the beginning once it's finished. It'll be still up on YouTube as a regular video, just getting recorded live. So thank you for coming. Appreciate you. Yes, I did. I took Ancestry and 23andMe and African Ancestry and National Geographic Genograph. And we discussed it all at the beginning of the video. So when you replay it, you'll be able to hear all the details about it. But the one I think is the best is the 23andMe and Ancestry. African Ancestry is good if you're into specific tribes connection. But as for living human beings, the 23andMe and the Ancestry is the one I like the best. Oh, thank you for coming, Love Is. I appreciate you coming in. Anybody that's here newly, please hit the like button. My brother and I did the 23andMe test. We found out that my father DNA goes back to Ramesses III. Oh, well, good. Wonderful. Congratulations. That's good to know. Let me see. Is there a possibility that your father had other children that you may not have taken that may not have taken a DNA test? I hope so. My daddy was pretty, and he was a wrestler. Back in the day, that was like being a movie star back then, being a colored wrestler that actually win championships. Even though he was young, he might have spread his seed around. Who knows? I hope so. I hope so. I hope they take a DNA test while I'm still living. It would be nice to have a sibling because I'm an only child that I knows of. Because the only other sibling I knew of, she died before I even found out about the test. According to my cousin, my father had a daughter that died a long time ago. I don't know what tribe my DNA relative is in Nigeria. She didn't tell me, and I can't contact her again. I tried, but she's not able to respond for some reason or another. Okay, love is you're 92.6% African. That's great. That's great. Because before you guys came in today, the only people I knew that had such a high percentage of African were people that had parents directly from the motherland or Gullah Geechee. So, congratulations. Okay, 23andMe now gives tribes. I like 23andMe too. Oh, that's good. I'll have to check into that. I know I'm so many different tribes when I did stuff on DNA Land and all of that, which is other little sites that you can do specialty tests for free. But it's so many, y'all, because they on purpose mixed up our relatives because they didn't want them speaking their language to each other. So they split up the different tribal groups as much as they could. So they would be forced to speak whatever language their enslaver forced upon them. Okay, Lady Vagabond, you say I found out some secrets. My whole lineage changed. Okay, I hear you. Mine did paternally too. And to tell the truth, my cousin on my used to be father's side said, don't worry, we've been cousins all along. We still will be cousins. I only heard from her one time after that, child. One time after that. It's like she don't want to be bothered. I don't know what's up with that. I don't. Living DNA will actually determine your ethnic groups. Okay. I know a lot of DNA Land and a lot of the other ones, they do too. Like I said, I have a zillion ethnic groups that's in my lineage. Let me see. Okay, you have an African relative come up. She connected with no one else. Okay. Because with DNA tests, sometimes your DNA is shared and sometimes it's not. It's like the luck of throwing the dice around. So even though you connect with them, they may not connect with anybody else in your family. So I just take it as it's a plus. An extra relative is great. I even happy when I get adopted, like with the Cora family. 23andMe gave me a tribe on the update. Ancestry DNA has a cool update called the inheritance feature. It can show what DNA you inherited from each parent without them testing. Oh, good. Mine, I just used my uncle to eliminate. So my uncle had my mother, the same mother and father as my mother. So whoever doesn't match my uncle is my paternal relative. Because both of my mother and father are now deceased. Okay, working on family trees can be frustrating when I find my ancestors on other people's family trees and there are no DNA tests to help figure out the puzzles. I hear you. I hear you. Me, I'm just lucky that a couple of my cousins are into doing all this genealogy testing even before I did a DNA test. So a lot of information I already know. So when I see my relatives on other people's trees, I just figure that it's for a reason that's pretty logical. And I'm okay with it. I just think it's like a mystery novel. You think Igbo and Edo are in south of Nigeria, so that would make sense. Yeah, they are. They are. Because I heard that the Edo Igbos moved into Igbo land and just settled there, you know? So they're in the same area, the Igbo and the Igbos. So yeah, that's true. And my ex, he's a Igbo. Okay. I think I'll do a video on mine and call it Sex, Lies, and DNA. Hey, can't be mad at you. That's how we all came to be. One way or another. It's just the DNA or the breadcrumbs that tell the story, even when the people didn't. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, all I know is our parents was just human beings, just like us. They were young too, just like we were young once. And they did stuff that after they did it, they wanted to deny, unless they was caught in the act. That's just human nature, y'all. Human nature. It is a great title. All right. I'm going back to my Patreon in hopes that somebody will join our Patreon. Sometimes I hit these things, y'all, and it don't even change. So I don't even know how some of this works sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I don't know. Okay, I'm learning. Okay, let me see if I can put this out before I leave, y'all, because y'all know this was something that let me see. Okay, I'm putting this out in the chat if somebody wants to come into the studio. I'm sorry I didn't put it out before, but y'all know I'm slow at this stuff. I've been rusty. Okay. You've seen stories on YouTube where people find out who their real biological fathers are, and it can be a whirlwind. Oh yeah. But I tell y'all what, I would have had been so happy, whether yay or nay, if my poor father would have been alive. Him dying at 22 just leaves me to leave him be a saint. He did one good thing. He helped make me. And I love reading, and I became a nurse, and I'll attribute that all to having his DNA. So all I can say is it worked out well for me. And so it is what it is, y'all. If it turns out bad, that's unfortunate. But once it's out there, you just have to process it. As an adult, we can process it, whether it's a good ending or a bad ending. We can process it. Because I'm telling you, it's a whirlwind your whole life when you're living a lie. I'm telling you, I did not care for those relatives. It was a few of them in the family. I'm talking about on who I thought was my paternal side. I just thought that he didn't like me because he treated his nieces and nephews so nice that they called him their favorite uncle. But I'm like, favorite uncle? But he doesn't be nice to me. You know, he wasn't nice to me. So how could somebody who was a favorite uncle not be nice to me? So I much prefer the truth, because it stops being pained for no reason at all, you know, for not a good reason anyway. That's true. Do you feel like people end up like their parents personally wise? Because it's so fascinating that people who do know their parents end up behaving like them. Well, like I said, if my father was pre med and I became a registered nurse, I actually married someone who became a pharmacist. So that was all in the medical field. And then my father went to college on a scholarship. So he must like to read if he ended up on a scholarship. So I love to read. So I think I'm a lot like my father, even though I never met him. And on my mother's side, she was artsy craftsy, and I'm artsy craftsy also. And my grandfather, that was my mother's father, he was a very, very artsy, and my uncles and all of that, they like to draw and do other kind of art forms. So I think I took after both sides of my family in behavior. It's just that before I found my biological father, I pretty much denied whatever other relationship I could have had with my mother's people for behaviors, because it's like I don't act like none of them. So now I'm calm and balanced, so I can see the good in her family, as well as the ghettoite part. And I'll be all right with it because I'm grown and I'm okay. There you go. Embracing all parts happily, even a Confederate surgeon's second great grandfather. All right. Good. As adults, I think we all can. Good trouble. I don't know about good trouble, but hey, it's always your choice. I like to be where I'm wanted, me. But anyway, good luck. Oh, you're welcome. I try to read. I try to read the comment as the whole of its parts instead of each word separately. So I'm glad that I read it properly. And thank you for contributing to the conversation, because I'm telling you, a monologue, we'd have been finished a long time ago and we wouldn't have learned as much. Okay, let me go back. I saw a small picture of a young lady on Ancestry DNA. She looked like one of my cousin's sisters. I reached out to her. I found out she's my cousin's child who was put up for adoption years ago. Oh, that's wonderful. See, the DNA test can bring you newfound relatives. That is good. That is good. Hopefully, I have some more out there that's coming, especially maybe a sister or a brother, and maybe they'll want to go back to Africa with me. That would be wonderful. Somebody that would actually act like me. I'd be so happy. Yeah, it is wonderful. Oh, I'm sorry it had technical issues. Huh. I don't know what's going on with the internet these days. I do not know. Y'all see, y'all see, I had issues just coming on the air. So it's something going on with StreamYard today, y'all. Sorry. Our internet is not any better in the United States sometimes, you know? Sorry. Okay, let's see what else. She was missing a lot of ancestors and living family members on her tree. I sent her what she was missing and let her know who was my relatives who took DNA tests on Ancestry DNA. Oh, that's good. That's good. I bet you she like jumping for joy that she have all these relatives that she didn't know about. Because I'm telling you, just that one picture of my dad is priceless, y'all. It's priceless. I don't know what else to say. If somebody ever would find another picture of him to share with me, I'd be happy too. Just anything that can connect me to the part that I'm missing, because I'm sorry that he died so young, and reading about his life is so unbelievable. When my cousin first told me about him, I thought she was lying, y'all, until I found his obituary on the microfilm. I'm like, it is no way somebody that young could have done that much in their little lifetime. But I was wrong. She told the truth. It just didn't seem believable. So sometimes it's good doing the genealogy research as well as the DNA testing. Okay, let's see. Try not to miss nothing, y'all. It's not unusual for a rich Confederate soldier to take their slaves with them into battle. Yeah, I know. Unfortunate. Bringing the poor people into battle to fight, to stay enslaved. I'd have been trying to escape to the other side at night. That he'd been having to sleep with one eye open, because I would have been out. As soon as they closed their eyes, I'd have been crossing over to the other side. But anyway, bless their heart, our poor ancestors. Oh, it's a whole story. All right. That'll be great. I'll be waiting to see that video. I can't wait. Say people usually take the test in hope of finding a particular person. It's amazing how many people get a feeling to test and find out so many secrets. You know what? It's only because the people that you thought was trustworthy in your life, you thought they wouldn't lie to you. And for them to lie to you forever, not just when you're a child, that's the thing. To me, that's the thing. That to lie to me as a child is one thing, but to not tell the truth when I'm an adult is another. So I am so happy that DNA tests exist, or I would have never known about my father's side. And they are a beautiful people, and they've done some cool stuff. Interesting jobs too. I just can't say. Some of them got those kind of jobs that, for real, you really can't say what they've done. But it's honorable, something honorable for the country. And you know it. Let's see. I'm trying not to miss nothing, y'all. The new ancestry results are out. I actually prefer the new results though, but I know a few people don't like it. Ancestry always switched it up. Oh, let me see. Yeah, mine actually, whenever they do the updates is only just increasing my percentage of Nigeria or Cameroon, because Nigeria and Cameroon are so close together. They actually have like a false border because of colonization. But as for me having different cousins or anything like that, no, that doesn't change. It might change them from second, third cousins to second cousins, but it still says you share a set of great grandparents. That part didn't change. So it says more people join the DNA testing, the more accurate they can go with their percentages. Oh, wow. Happened in the 1800s. That's amazing. And it's amazing to actually find out some family history that far back. So your grandfather married a woman who looked white. They had one son. Eventually, they divorced in the 1920s. So according to her grandkids, she decided to pass as white. No one knows where she went. Wow. And y'all know when they pass, they have to become invisible, because if they don't, their secret will be found out. You cannot have black relatives if you're passing for white. And even if your children come out and they don't look white, you have to go back home, Louisiana or wherever, and leave them with your relatives and go back to wherever you came from, California, New York, or wherever, and keep the passing up, and then just lie and tell people that your baby died. It's all kind of crazy stuff people used to do when they passed for white. I had relatives that passed for white too in California, and they went back to Louisiana for funerals. And then they went back to wherever they came from after the funeral and kept passing. I'm not related to their grandmother. My grandfather married my grandmother, who was dark skinned later. Oh, okay. Okay. I have relatives that actually, I asked my grandmother who was those white people, mother. And she said, they're not white people, they're your cousins. So it is what it is, y'all. People do what they have to do as a survival skill. Okay, I'm trying not to miss anything, y'all. Let me get back here and try to answer faster before I pass up everybody. Let's see. Okay. Oh, they took your Native American, replaced it with Norwegian. Oh, man. How I have documented my great grandfather identifying as an Indian. Huh. That is interesting. Well, sorry that happened. Fortunately, mine ain't switched like that. In fact, my percentages of Caucasian seems to be going down 1 or 2% with each test. I guess as more people come in that they could match you with. But I'm not going to trace any ancestry other than the African one, y'all. That's just the way it is, y'all. Let's see. Trying not to miss nothing. Forgive me if I miss something. Okay. I'm trying not to miss nothing. I'm doing this by myself, and I'm trying. Okay, I know I read that one. Okay, here it is. Best of luck. Yeah, I agree. Best of luck. Huh. All I know, my personal Native American wasn't but 1 to 2% in the first place, and that was with indigenous of the North and South America. So it wasn't enough for my grandmother to think that we were Indians and not Africans. It was just a denial thing, Brainwashing is what it was. Uh, back in the day when people passed, they just wanted to be seen as a complete human being and get paid. You know, can you imagine getting paid a little like slave wages and then getting paid regular wages? They got to be a lot different in your standard of living, even though you miss all of your relatives that can't go past over to the other side with you. So I don't know if it was worth it to them, y'all. I don't know. It's just sad that they had to even make that choice back then. The reason why they kept going back to where they came from, they actually missed their relatives. Not everybody did that. Some people that passed never went back. But all I can tell you is from my relatives actually did go back to Louisiana for the funeral of their relatives that they actually loved. They still had attachments to their relatives in Louisiana, and they actually did leave California and went back to Louisiana because they loved their relatives. They wanted to see them and wanted to say goodbye, and they wanted to see their other living relatives like a family reunion. And then they'll go back to California and keep passing for white. But it was just a human thing that they just wanted to be with their family. As they say, just one more time. Just one more time. Say, ask for us to come together one more time. That was a one more time. And they passed when they left. So it was like a break from passing with people who knew who they were, no matter what they looked like. Trying not to miss nothing, y'all. I know. That's exactly what I said. I had some DNA relatives that said 5'2" and eyes of blue. That's how she described herself. And then she asked me, I wonder how we're related. And so I told her that I don't know how we're related, because sometimes the oppressors force themselves on my relatives, and sometimes my relatives pass so much that their own children didn't know that they was passing. And so I said, some of my relatives look like you from Louisiana, and they passed. And that's the last time I heard of her, because she didn't want to have the possibility of maybe that she wasn't 100% Caucasian, I guess. I never heard from her again. She didn't want to research how we could have been related. Okay, let's see. Yep. So let's see what else. I was 3% for a is 1 to 8 and 1 read. My mother was it. 23 does it too. Take it and replace with Norwegian is weird. I can see it going down, but eliminate and replace it. Weird. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, y'all. Trying to keep up. My test said 1% Native American also, which we know African Americans are taken to Central and South America also. They are Mexicans of African descent in Mexico. That's true. I agree. Said they were put in that position. I understand they need to survive. I don't think I could handle the denial of who I really am. Yeah, I understand. But I'm telling you, back then, with people hanging folks and raping folks and doing all kind of evil stuff to them every day just because of the color of their skin, I know it was a big temptation to pass. A big temptation to pass because of all the evil stuff that was happening around you, just because people was picking you, just because of your color of your skin. Yeah, they wanted to see their parents and all of the rest of their relatives. As they say, my mama them, your mama them, your sisters them, your cousins, everybody. Everybody. They was just human, y'all. Just trying to survive. Survival skill. I couldn't have done it because I don't have the coloring. I could have never even been tempted to do it. Okay. All right. French percentage that was there until this update. Now it's gone. The algorithm dances and switches up when it wants to. I think it's just all as a comparison as they get more people doing the DNA test. They have a bigger group of people to test from. So the percentages will change. Let me see, the Caucasians on Ancestry never respond when you reach out. Oh, I don't know because I never reached out. I never reached out to any of them. They reached out to me. And once they reached out to me, I just presented it to them that maybe I thought they were what they thought they were, and maybe they wasn't what they thought they were. And they chose not to continue the relationship. But I personally don't even attempt to contact any of the Caucasians one myself. That's always on them to contact me because I only am trying to trace my African lineage. But that's just personally me. That's all. That's just my story, y'all. I don't really want to know the Caucasian side. I'll be like, la, 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 la. I don't want to know. My Bible say, what I don't hurt me. I already know in general how most of the Caucasian DNA was obtained in our family. It's like nobody in my family went marrying any Caucasians back in the day. Not one. Not one. Well, technically not. They don't have to have African percentage in them because mine that match don't have African percentage for the most part. They actually could be the descendants of the so-called slave masters, could have been masters children. So if they were masters children, that would be how they're related to you. So they don't have to have any African percentage if they were on the, like they say, the bad side. So they don't have to have African percentage. If they're on the paternal side, that was the enslaver side, they could be 100% Caucasian. Yeah, but they don't have to be African at all to match it. All they have to do is be related on the enslaver side, and they still could be a DNA relative. You say you don't get happy when you see some DNA matches. Me either. Like I said, I actually don't reach out to them that much. pretty much most of them have reached out to me, and it's just funny when they're there and I grew up with them, or I knew them since they were born, because they're my cousin's they're my cousins, my first cousin's children. I'm like, I didn't know she took this test. I see my cousin, I didn't know you took the test. So that's who I reach out to, the ones I already know. The ones I don't know, I don't really reach out to them that much, but I always answer whoever reach out to me. I do. I answer them all anytime they reach out to me, no matter who they are. Oh, I don't know, what movie is that? What movie? What movie? Let's see. I'm trying not to miss nothing, y'all. Oh, okay, you want to know the plantation your people came from? They may know and probably would never admit it. Oh, okay. They may know. Me, I'm like my mama. I don't want to know. I'm trying to find out where they came from in Africa. I don't want to know what plantation they came from. But we are all different. We're all different. So I can understand that you need to know. But me, I don't want to know what plantation they was on. I just want to know where they came from in Africa, and that's that. Let me see if I missed anything, y'all. I understand it seemed like a big task to find your African ancestors. It's hard, but I'll the direct DNA connect. Oh man, the mosquito. I don't know what that is, y'all. 70% African, so it's my focus, but my family story is too juicy. Okay. Oh, hopefully you have some family members that have names that can lead you back to the motherland, like my grandmother Cora. Some name on some registry should be able to take you back to at least one of the countries of origin of your family. I hope so. Oh, okay. That's very interesting. In his 80s and still worked for the descendants of the slave owners. That is quite interesting. Wow. Oh, Imitation of Life. Okay. I saw that movie, y'all, like 100 times. I bought both versions of the movies. I cried in the movie. I talked about Poe Sarah Jane like a dog after I saw it about 50, 60 times. And then after I watched it more, I empathized with her having to make that choice for what was going on back in the day. And then I was upset with her mother for not telling her in the first place who she was. She just kind of indulged her at first. Yeah, this gnat or whatever it is trying to kill me. But anyway, let me fan for a minute. But anyway, I love that movie too. And it makes you talk, makes you think, make you cry. So yeah, I did watch that movie so many times, and I do like the movie, and it's just interesting about that movie. And they said that the lady who played the lead in one of the Imitations of Life actually was somebody who was what they called back in the day mulatto. Let me see. Let's say I have to go to Jamaica. My mother's siblings were born on a plantation in Virginia. So I'm going through the Virginia lineage right now. Okay. I know I was in a Facebook group, and they said that we all started off in Louisa, Virginia. because the DNA relative Cake Yee, well, that's the name she uses. She said that we all started off in Louisa, Louisa, Virginia. So it's interesting because it's one of those slave ports. So very interesting. I love genealogy, y'all. It's just so interesting. And y'all, I'm glad I had this fan. I never thought I'd have to use it to keep the gnat away from me while I'm on live, on the live stream. No different than if I would have been in the motherland, y'all. Okay, they paid him about 80,000 a year. That was a lot. That's good, especially for that area. It's still interesting that they were still there after slavery was over with, though. That still was very, very interesting. Let me see. My mother saw a white woman who looked like relatives at her doctor appointment and found out she knew about her father's side and a cousin. Oh, good. Huh. Very interesting. It's a small world. It's a small world after all, as they say. Okay. What you saying here, sis? Uh-uh. In 2019, I actually visited my ancestors' plantation, Old Spring here, which was once owned by a former governor of Alabama. Wow, that's interesting. Wow. I'm sure there was a lot of emotion going on when you went there. Wow, that's good. That's good. The more history we know, the better. So that's very good. Thank you for sharing. Let's see. Trying not to miss nothing. A Melungeon. Some decided to be black and others decided. Some decided to be black and others decided to be black. I guess you wanted to say some decided to be white and others decided to be black. The Melungeons. Okay. Very, very good. Thank you for sharing. I figured as much. Thank you for sharing. Oh, I can imagine. Emotional. I could imagine. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Okay, guys. Anybody else want to say anything? Because I know I don't want to be holding y'all forever. We done covered so much good information. Everybody shared so much. I really appreciate it. I do. They made it so interesting. Like I said, it's not about me when I'm doing these lives. I want to hear from all of y'all when we doing this live. So it's a real conversation. And that way I'm learning from y'all just like y'all learning from me. And I agree. That was amazing. Okay, let me see. I'm the family historian. I'm putting together all our records. Knowing the plantation reveals a lot and can maybe even lead you back to the continent. I want to know it all. I'm just wired that way. Well, good, good. I'm glad you are. I done already been to the motherland lots of times and I'm still keep going there. So I'm already reconnected, but it just made it easier for me, I think, when I married into the family in Nigeria and actually had a family to connect to from the beginning. So I really don't have that much urgings anymore. And going there, researching my grandmother's name, that also let me feel like I was connected personally, that I didn't even need to be connected just to my ex-husband's family, who I have children for. So the bloodlines is mixed forever. So that's good. Let me see. I'm listening to this while cleaning. Very pleasant to listen to. Well, I'm glad. Okay. Oh, yeah. I researched about them when I was doing my research on a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see. I don't want to miss nobody, y'all. Oh, yeah. It was excellent. I learned a lot too. Thank all of y'all so much for contributing to the conversation. Mm-hmm. And y'all know I'm Creole. And after the Haitian Revolution, or during the Haitian Revolution, whatever, I don't know which way it was, but I know that a lot of those Caucasians took their enslaved people to Louisiana because it was the Louisiana Purchase. So they end up there. So Creoles from Haiti and Creoles that was already in Louisiana. So the relatives keep moving from the Middle Passage on to here. So it's all an interesting story. I've been traveling to the continent almost 20 years and have family there as well. Oh, that's good. I've been going since 1980. Since 1980. So time flies. 1980, now it's 2022. I was young, y'all, when I first started going there. Time flies. That's all I can say. You know, we got to have some pleasant and calm discussions. I ain't for no fighting and cussing and fussing and all that. I love all of y'all, and I love to hear what y'all have to say. All right, guys. Is there anything else anybody else wants to say before I wrap this up? Oh, here. Let me see what you're saying here. Say there was a very good movie about the Haitian Revolution. James Earl Jones was in the movie. He was a free, privileged son of the slave owner in the movie. Huh. What is the name of that movie? I'd like to see it because I love James Earl Jones. If you find out the name of the movie, let me know so I can watch it. I'm sure maybe YouTube will have it. I would love to watch that movie. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Zachary, Louisiana, and New Orleans. Okay, okay. We from Opelousas. Opelousas, Cutoff, and Ville Platte. Opelousas, Cutoff, and Ville Platte that I knows of now. But my mama officially claimed New Orleans. But no relatives that I know of ever lived in New Orleans. My mama just wanted to say she was from the big city. But our family reunions are in Opelousas. Always say. We need to do this again after everyone has time to do their research. I'll be working on finding the name of the movie. I used to have it on VHS. Okay, that'll be good. Y'all know, y'all be looking at my videos. So they will say we can come back in the next 6 months or so and do this again. Y'all let me know if y'all found any more on y'all DNA researching or whatever that y'all want to do it again. Y'all tell me. Whether I'm here, I'm in the Gambia, I can do a live. Now, I might get cut off more in the Gambia. You might have more issues trying to join the live stream by coming into the studio, but it doesn't matter. We will do our best. We will do our best. So no matter if I'm here or in the Gambia, when y'all ready for me to do another live discussing the DNA result, I'm willing to come online and be here with y'all. Okay, I'm trying to do this. Oh, you're welcome, Xena Warrior Queen. I enjoyed, I didn't even know this was a holiday for some when I planned this Sunday. So I'm just so happy y'all showed up. Mr. Uganda, you a mess. Okay. The Black Marty Indians. Okay. Well, I can say I have some people that's in espionage in my family too, but I can't say who. Thank you for sharing. Okay. I agree. We should do this again. Okay. Anybody else have anything else? Like I say, going once, going twice. We've been doing this for 2 hours now. And I can say it's been a wonderful live. I appreciate it all of you had to say. Thank you for coming into the chat, whether from in the United States or UK or the Gambia or wherever else y'all was coming from. The United States, I'm happy to see all of you and that y'all came to be with me. So you say Mardi Gras? Oh, Mardi Gras Indians. Okay, Mardi Gras Indians. Oh, that's cool. That's cool too. Thanks for having it and allowing us to share. Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure, Lady Vagabond. You're most welcome. Okay, guys. Is that all? And I can say, thank you, one. Thank you all for coming to my live, for motivating me to get up. I'll do one more twirl, as Kenyatta would say, so y'all can see my dress. For the people who didn't see it at first, because I don't be knowing which way to go. Because everything is in reverse when you're doing this on a camera. But anyway, thank you so much for coming. And until next time, y'all, what? Peace. Peace. Power to the people. And I'm out, y'all. Bye. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Peace. Remember that I love y'all. I don't want to miss anybody. Let's see. Good. I think all of y'all have said y'all's piece. Bye, y'all. I love all of y'all. I really do. Bye. Till next time.